Hello, my name is Arthur, and I'm a sociologist, but also a citizen. And I'd like to share with you some of my academic ideas, but also some of my personal ideas at times. I'll try to designate when I'm doing which, because the role of an academic is to always be objective. But yet, as a citizen, I do have a few thoughts and concerns as to the evolution of our communities, our country, but also our global relationships. And I would like to share a few thoughts on those, but also learn a lot from you and what you think in our future interactions. So, essentially, what I do is I study institutions, and my analysis usually covers not the formal dynamics, right, that you hear, like cross-party politics or different types of right fights for political control. For me, it's more what I deal with is the greater focus on the cultural patterns that are kind of underneath the processes. So through time, we usually establish, right through hundreds of years, we've established different types of patterns that influence somewhere latently the way we actually interact with one another. And through time, this is something that I've learned to see a little bit from the perspective of institutions and also communities. I think right now we're in a really, really interesting time period of humanity. We're in a period where we have so much innovation, right, coming from this network society, and we're finding that traditional roles, authorities, and systems are trying to do the best they can, but also it seems they've reached some sort of point where everything is in such a transition that we're beginning to lose some things as well. And I think what's important to keep in mind as we work through this cultural evolution is also these other successes of human ideas, which have been the social contract, democracy, and building the power of the citizen to control community. Right, a previous social evolution in terms of our relationship to government and what we expect from these, right, from this island of stability, from this great place of this country, but also respectively throughout the world. Particularly important to me is the evolution of how this citizen participation is shaping itself in this new institutional structural reality. I think it's important that the citizens are also involved in this discussion of integrating, exchanging, becoming mutually a part of this research, analysis, and definition of what are the best strategic trajectories for this world to go into. I come from a Polish background, and there's an old saying, nothing about us without us. And I think this is also true in terms of citizens wherever we are in this globe. It's the expectation that, right, we expect to be a part of this, and we may vote, and right, sometimes we may protest, but I think we also expect a greater role in how our relationship intertwines with these decisions which are being made around us, but don't necessarily seem to include the initial thoughts and ideas which we wanted to take place when we voted for a particular group to come into power. And I think this is something for us to consider amongst ourselves, because essentially, right, all the way from citizens to the president, we're all citizens. And I think we have this humble expectation of discourse in terms of, right, developing the world around us. I'd like to consider, we have the news shows on Sunday. That's why I'd like you to come by. Maybe I'd like you to come by next Sunday to discuss an issue which is important for you. Maybe an issue from one of the news shows which shaped the discussion on that day. But I'm interested in the global issues, the national issues, maybe local issues, which are of interest to you. And maybe somehow together we could go through this, work through this process of, uh, of coming to some, do a little bit of work before it goes into the government apparatus. Do a little work before other people decide for us in defining, what policies, what issues are important to us, how we would actually pursue this take from this perspective. So particularly influential on the last comment for me was a trip to the Capitol a few weeks ago. On a very cold day, there were no lines. And there's a short video, and on that short video, it distinctly states America is e pluribus unum, meaning that we all are designed to think, to sometimes have discourse, to sometimes have conflict, to institutionalize it somehow with our political apparatus. But at the end of it, whatever shows up is not the domination of any one of us. It's the collective strength of all of us and the different context, viewpoints, ideas, and perceptions which we had to make something to make a policy or idea happen. And I think this is something critical to keep in mind. Is we are also a part of e pluribus unum. It's not just the 200, just not just the representatives, not the 100 senators that exist there. It's actually all of us. That maybe we could formulate a little bit some of these thoughts in a concise pattern, so we feel like we're actually creating this thing. And I think this is important because democracy is creating this thing. The more we come involved, the more democratic we are, the more effective we are, the more powerful we are as an example to the whole world. And the more consistent we are in understanding what's important, what's truly important for each of us, and what truly are our values between us. And I think if we work in this direction, we'll always have a wonderful country, a wonderful home. If we all work together, it'll be great.